Spencer Lewis here for Inside Track. We're talking with one of the newest members of the OSCAAR Super Late Model Tour, the crowd pleaser, Kelly Balson. And Kelly, man, I've been waiting. I've been anticipating this interview. I'm excited to get with you here and tell me all about what prompted you to jump onto the tour in 2014, because I know it's like a murderer's row these days. It's a who's who of short track competitors. Adding your name to the list is huge. What prompted you to buy an outlaw-bodied super late model?
Well, it's something that I always wanted to do. I never thought we'd get the opportunity funds-wise to do it, and it just it was one of those things where Dad and I and Amanda were talking about it, and he said, now's the time. If we're ever going to do it, now's the time, and I agreed with him. We talked about, I don't know how we're going to match up with such a stacked field like that, but it's something that it's time. You know, I grew up racing with like Glenn Watson and the Tamirsmas and, you know, all those guys, and I kind of watched them progress into super late models, and I thought, you know, now's the time. That's kind of where I feel like I belong. And I think it's just time, and if it's not now, it's never.
Were you at all weighing maybe getting back into a limited late model full time and taking a run another Peterborough Championship? Was it close, or?
It was very close, to the point where I thought, do I really want to get involved in such a hard racing series and that kind of time and dedication? I was thinking, do we have the money? Do we have the people? Do we have the resources? And it seemed like the answer was yeah. Like, I talked to Dan McCaddy and I said, look, if you're on board with this, I'm going to do it, but if you're not on board with it, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it without Dan's help. I contacted even some guys who've been helping me out for like 15 years, but they weren't doing it full time helping me out. And I said, look, if you're on board full time, we're going to do this. So I kind of got all my ducks in a row, and everybody said do it, so we did it. So we've got the car. I can't see it right now. I'm not allowed to touch it. But soon we'll get it out and practice it a couple times.
Now, without question, you were one of the best Peterborough Speedway challenger and late model drivers ever. I mean, a litany of championships there. Is it safe to assume that that's one of the places that you can't wait to go back to, or is it another place? Where can you not wait to unload at on the OSCAAR Super Late Model Tour in 2014?
Anywhere, everywhere. I'm looking forward to getting back here. The last time I was here with a car, I was with the Lucas Tour, and I love the way this place drove. I can't wait to get back here. I'm kind of watching the cars here, trying to take some mental notes as to what's going to happen. But here, Peterborough, I hope that maybe Kawartha gets a race again next year. I know Dan kind of wants to get back to Kawartha, and he's bugging me to get out to. He can't understand why we're not going to take it to Kawartha. But we've got a lot on our plate right now with the Lucas car and the limited late model, and it's kind of, I'm okay with just leaving that. But truth of the matter is, Peterborough and here, I'm really pumped about coming to these two tracks.
How much can you tell me about the chassis itself? Because it was breaking news when you picked it up and you purchased it, and there were stories all over the internet about where it came from. But what can you tell me about the chassis that you purchased?
It's a junior car. I know that Don Thompson Jr. and J.R. Fitzpatrick had purchased it together. I'm not quite sure how that went, but they got a hold of me and said, you know, if you're interested in buying that car, that's the one I wanted. I missed it. I missed it by about 3 or 4 days, and I was eating my heart out for a couple of weeks knowing I missed that car. And I talked to Junior Hanley about the car. He had no plan B. He said, you missed that car, so that's that, stupid. End it. And I went, oh, well, all right, so that's that. So when they contacted me again saying, you might be able to scoop that car from us, I thought, yeah, well, I'm going to get it. I'm not gonna miss it twice.
Now, you mentioned Watson and Tiemersma and some of the other OSCAAR veterans. Who else can you not wait to get on the track with and rub fenders with a little bit on the tour?
Well, Gressel. I'm hoping Brandon comes back next year. I'm not sure what their plans are. I mean, it's just those are the best. I'm running with Kevin Cornelius and like Baker. You know, we've raced against each other since the dawn of time. To me, this is the best racing series in Canada, and this is the apex. This is it. This is as good as it gets, and you know, they're all good. So it seems to me you could have be running a real good car and have a ninth place car, and that's where you're going to finish, and that's what I'm looking forward to, is running against those. They're the best of the best, so we'll see where we slot in with them.
What's going to be the realistic goals heading into next season? I mean, you're a realistic guy, so what are you hoping for in 2014?
I don't know. I really don't know. We're going to find out how fast. We're going to have to find out how fast that car is. If it's, you know, if it's a top 5 car, well, so be it. Let's get in the top 5. If it's a top 10 car, we'll find out. You know, is it a last place car? I hope not, but we'll find out, right? So we'll get it out there and we'll slot in somewhere. But I'm hoping to be up with the guys that I'm running limited late model with, you know, with the Bakers of the world and the Tamirsmans of the world, the Watsons, and you know, I'm hoping to slot in up there somewhere. I think we can.
Now, Dan McCaddy has built you some fast race cars in the past, and you mentioned the cars at his shop right now. So, would it be safe to assume this will be the first ever Hanley by McCaddy built chassis?
Super late. I'm just trying to think if Dan's messed around with some Hanley cars or not. I don't quite know. But this is the first super late.
That's exciting. That's exciting for the whole DMR team then.
Yeah, this is the first one that when I contacted Dan, I was expecting him to talk me out of it, and he kind of did. And then I said, "So look, are you talking me out of this?" And he said, No. Having a super late model rear would be pretty cool. So yeah, maybe you should go get that. So that's all I needed to hear. And he's pouring over it he's pouring over it like if we ever twist it up, he can get it back. That's what he's doing right now. He's pouring over it just to get the dimensions and the measurements. So we're safe to go if something happens to it, he can fix it.
Now let's just change gears for a moment from the OSCAAR Tour to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Obviously, last night was scheduled to be the last night ever. They lost it due to rain. You've got a load of history at Mosport and CTMP. Can I get your thoughts on the closing of CTMP last night?
It's disappointing. I mean, I put myself in. There's guys and there's staunch Mosport guys. I mean, we had a lot of success there. We won some races, won the championship. You know, we've had success with the Lucas car. Amanda's had a lot of success with the Lucas car there. And I kind of think to myself, what if this was Peterborough closing? How would I feel? I mean, I'd be like a guy without a home. So there's guys like that are Mosport guys, and they just lost their home. It's unfortunate. I mean, I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off by saying stuff like this, but the fact is, I don't know who closed the track halfway through the season. I don't know how you do that to somebody when they pour the time and the dedication. Like, look at the John Baker Jr.'s or the Dwight Browns or the Donaldsons of the world. They get their cars ready through the wintertime. They pour their heart and soul into their programs, and then to have someone close the track July the 27th to me is unbelievably disrespectful. And I don't know why they couldn't have finished out the year, but again, I feel for those guys. It seems to me I've got no inside information, but it seems to me they were just waiting for that place to fail to close it. That's what it felt like to me. I think they want to put campgrounds in there for the big shows they've got coming up. You know, I heard that they're going to put something like 500 motorhomes in there, so do the math. How much does it cost for a weekend for Boots and Hearts or the truck race or something? Like, how much money are they going to make, and how much acreage are they now using? It's unfortunate. I'm kind of glad it's done. Now let's get all those people up to Peterborough or to Sunset and improve the car counts, you know. But I feel for those guys. They've lost their home. It's tough.
Now, final question, because I know you're a huge supporter of the short track scene. You go everywhere you can. You're a huge fan of the sport itself. So let's talk Ontario short track power rankings. We'll switch roles for a second. If you're me, who do you think we're going to have as #1 on the stage at the CME
right now?
Right now.
If the season stopped
If the season stopped right now, who would be your #1?
Looking at you, Dan Price. I got to say Baker. I got to say Dwayne Baker. He's running strong in the limited. He was absolutely dominant the last time I watched him in the super late model, so I'm not sure how you top that. I'm going with Baker.
All right, well, we'll remember that in February. If he's on the stage, we'll make sure to bring that back up. Kelly, thank you so much for the time, man. I can't wait to see you on tour. We get to do more interviews like this. It's magic. I can't wait for Autumn Colors.
We'll hang out.
There you go. It's going to happen. There you go, folks. The crowd pleaser, Kelly Balson. If you're around the Peterborough area, make sure you check out Peterborough Speedway, one of the top competitors. Whatever Saturday he chooses to unload at Peterborough Speedway in the number B10 car. Kelly, thanks so much.